The Will-it-Lube series on my channel is one of the most popular series I have ever made. Since day one when I started this channel, it has grown in popularity tremendously and has inspired many people to make Will-it-Lubes of their own. I have a playlist of over 35 different lubes that I have tested out for you guys and to see if they were any good or not. Well, in this video, we're going to be going over the worst lubes. Hey guys, what's up? It's Cubey time, and in today's video, we'll be looking at the top 5 worst lubes. So to start off this countdown, we're going to start out with number 5. And number 5, in my opinion, was Plato. Plato made the puzzle very, very slow and definitely was not good for the performance of the puzzle overall. It made it extremely slow and sandy and, well, overall just not very good. It was never by far the worst lube that I used, but definitely not one of the best. Here are some highlights from that episode. We're just going to take a good amount and put it inside the core of this puzzle, so that's good for that. Give it a little. It's kind of leaking a little bit. Well, first off, it made it a lot slower, and it's not that good at turning anymore. It's coming out everywhere. It's all over the stack mat. Yeah. Oh god. It's very slow. It got a little bit sandy. This turning is really sandy now. So Plato wasn't really that good of a substance, honestly, and as you can see, as the solve goes on, it flakes up a lot and gets everywhere, and it's really... Next, we go to number 4, and number 4 is Mini Marshmallows. This was probably the least popular Will-it-Lube episode I ever made. However, Marshmallows was a really bad lubricant. It made the cube basically very unusable and unstable. Let's just take a look at some of the highlights from this video. Let's just start putting them in and seeing how many you can do. So I'm just going to put that one in and like shove it in there and then do another one. Now all the pieces are back together. Let's begin the turning of it. You got to break it in. Oh gosh. So now I'm going to tell you my final thoughts on Marshmallows as a lube. And there's no other way to put it, but it sucks. It is so terrible. It makes your puzzle turn so slow. And coming in at number 3, we have one of the original Will-it-Lubes, and that is Toothpaste. Now, you wouldn't expect Toothpaste to be worse than something like Marshmallows or Plato, but it is. When I first put it in the puzzle, it did make it a lot slower, and it did cause it to lock up a lot more. However, it's what happened behind the scenes is what it really was the bad part. It stuck in the cube for probably a whole month after, and I had to break it in. It was impossible to wash out, and it's just something I would not recommend. So let's just take a look at some of the high points of this poorly made episode. Okay. This is Colgate Total Full Whitening. Okay, let's check this out. Okay, so now it doesn't even do one full turn without locking up. Okay, Toothpaste. It makes it really slow. Now, so, yeah, I wouldn't do Toothpaste. And coming in strong to number 2, we have Glue, one of my most popular Will-it-Lube episodes. Obviously, this was going to be on here considering that it's glue, and obviously it was a bad lubricant. It made the puzzle extremely, extremely slow, obviously, and after it dried, it was a little bit crunchy, but it really was not that good at all, obviously. However, the bad part was when after the episode, when it dried and the pieces would get glued together, and I had to remove them from each other by using a hot glue gun by heating up the glue. Overall, it caused permanent damage to the cube, and it was awfully bad. So let's just take a look at some high points of this episode. Okay. Perfect. Alright. Now that I officially ruined my cube, let's just put these pieces back in and see how it turns. As you can see, it's glued pretty good. The cube turns so badly now, I might have to just buy a new one. It's utterly ruined the internals of the puzzle. And by far, number 1 goes to Gum, completely uncontested. Gum was by far the worst lubricant I ever used. Initially when I put it in, it was a terrible lube. It made the cube turn absolutely awful, and it was overall just bad. However, it was behind the scenes of what you guys didn't know. This is what made me buy a new Will-it-Lube cube, because still to this day, I cannot remove the gum from the cube, and it sits on my desk filled with gum. It is the worst lubricant, and it will ruin your cube entirely, and I would definitely not recommend it. Here it goes. I'm me putting my gum inside the 3x3. Now, it's just gum, so it's not really that big of a deal. Everyone has seen it. It's like really, really slow. You can barely turn it at all. It's just overall really bad. And yeah, not a recommended lubricant at all. So overall, gum is not that good of a lubricant to put in your puzzle. It makes your cube turn so slowly, so badly, and overall, it's not very good. This is probably the worst lube I have ever used, and turns out that gum is not a good idea to put in your puzzle. It destroys it, and it's impossible to remove. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on the top 5 worst substances I've tried in the Will-it-Lube series. Be on the lookout for the top 5 best, and comment what else you want to see on my channel. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Bye.